Do you have any like moment where like you maybe take for granted who you were just always around and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've actually always wanted to talk about this. Nobody's ever asked me a question like that. So we get on the bus with the Cavs. LeBron's our favorite player. We're sitting next to LeBron on the bus, and we're just in there playing with the whole Cavs team. And then LeBron, we're playing we're 2-on-1 against LeBron. He like throws it over. He throws it over me, and he basically clears my little brother and dunks it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is episode 7 of Subject to Change with Jordan McCabe, the podcast, everybody's favorite podcast. And everybody has a podcast nowadays, but the reason you listen here is because this is the one that's hosted by a collegiate athlete, and we're barely even allowed to do this. So that's the reason that you tune in. And we bring in the best guest, baby. SHAREEF O'NEAL is in the building. Insert claps. SHAREEF, thanks for coming on, bro. So did you grow up in LA?
Yeah, I moved a lot. I was born in LA. Then I moved to Miami in about 2004 when my dad played for the Heat. Then I went to Phoenix. And then we came to Orlando for a little bit after Phoenix while he was when he went to Cleveland and Boston. And then we just moved back to LA and then with my mom. So yeah. I moved a lot.
What are your, I find your life's interesting. It should be a show. It has been a show, So, I mean, I sit here thinking like your early basketball experiences, who do you remember like walking in the gym, seeing? Do you have any like moment where like you maybe take for granted who you were just always around and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've actually always wanted to talk about this. Nobody's ever asked me a question like that. So
I'm here, baby.
It's my whole life. I didn't realize till like last year, and like last year I was talking to my older brother. I'm like, bro, do you realize like the stuff we used to just be around and we would just walk past like it was nothing because we didn't really like look at it like that. And like it was times where like we would be at school and my dad gets off the Cleveland Cavaliers bus. We're in LA. While he's on the Cavs, they get off the bus. He comes into our class. He like checks us out of school early. We get on the bus with the Cavs. LeBron's our favorite player. We're sitting next to LeBron on the bus. We're driving to their practice, and then we're like, they're having like a shoot around, and we're just in there playing with the whole Cavs team. And then LeBron, we're 2-on-1 against LeBron. He like throws it over. He throws it over me, and he basically clears my little brother and dunks it. So like that's just one moment that happened a long time ago, and just like a lot of special moments with Kobe and Michael Jordan. I got to meet Michael Jordan a few times. So it's just like at first I didn't really realize it because I was like, oh, these guys are my dad's friends. But then I'm like, these people are some of the most influential people in the whole wide world, and they influence me and some of my favorite players. So like, yeah, it's a lot.
It's crazy. You mentioned Kobe though. Rest in peace to an absolute legend. And this is the first time that I've ever, gone on record and even spoke about it, at length. But I'm not going to do any of the speaking here. I want you to, I know you've probably been asked about it and poked and prodded, but, I can't even think of any other question to ask you, but what did he mean, to you when he was here?
He was there. He's been around since I was born, like him and my dad, they were best friends in that year and I was born, and he basically watched me grow up since then and kept in contact with them for a very long time. And people always thought that him and my dad had problems with that. That wasn't the case at all. It just like, how the internet is, they kind of push everything times 1,000. Like we would see him all the time. He would still call, check in, and everyone else in the world thought they had beef, but that was never the case. And he was just like, I called him uncle. I call a lot of people uncle, but like to him, it actually meant something because he was there when I was born, and him and my dad had such a great bond. He had a great bond with us, and he was always looking to help us. He'd go watch my sister play all the time because he's really big on girls basketball, and he was recruiting my sister to play for Team Mamba. So he was just always looking to make sure we were at our best, even though he didn't have to. He texted me maybe 2 months before my surgery. Almost he checked with me weekly until I got back to basketball, and he'd always be like, "How are you doing today? What's the update? How are you feeling now? What's your weight at? Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that." Like, it was like he was always like there for me, and that meant a lot. And it struck the world when people heard that news. So I mean, it took a big blow on me, and I still am kind of numb to it. It just doesn't feel like it's real. I don't want to live in a world where I say that Kobe Bryant isn't alive. It just doesn't even sound right. And it just took a big blow on my family. I wasn't around my dad when it happened. I was actually in the car with Josh, and then we went to the closest spot. It was my mom's house that we were near, and we both got. That's the only emotional moment I ever had with Josh. That's been my best friend for a long time, but that's the real emotional moment we had. We just all cried. The whole house cried, and it makes it worse because that day, my sister's team was playing Gigi's team. Literally that morning, we were all supposed to go watch this big game, championship game of the tournament. Team Mamba's playing my sister's team. Me and Josh were literally driving to the game. My mom calls, and she tells us they canceled all the games. They said that Kobe has passed away in a helicopter crash, and then that's just when that whole day. I'll remember that day for the rest of my life. It was just an insane day. So yeah.
No, man, I appreciate you sharing that, and I know a lot of people who are viewing and listening in right now appreciate and know that that's not something easy to talk about at all. But it seems very consistent with the stories that you hear from different people about Kobe. And my only story that I have, I was lucky enough to go out, and I didn't have a personal relationship as you did, and you really get to see who he is as a person. But in 2011, I went to the All-Star game, and I remember, being back around. I'm meeting all these players, and I remember Thursday, I believe, so the start of All-Star weekend, or Friday, that first day, I got a chance to meet Kobe, and he signed, some stuff for me. It was at some T-Mobile event. And he was there, signed some stuff, and we talked. I mean, he sat there and talked to me, for probably, 5-10 minutes, which is an eternity for a guy like that. And, that was dope. But then all of a sudden, Sunday comes around, the game's there, and I'm in the back tunnel. And I mean, shoot, I was, 12 years old, white kid with the same buzz cut I got now. I look like every kid ever. So, I mean, yeah. I'm not expecting him to pick me out of the crowd. I'm walking through the back tunnel, and I'm looking up, and actually Bron passed this way, and Kobe was coming the other way, and he kind of grabbed my arm like that, and he was like, "How'd you like?" He's talking to me about the game and stuff like that. It speaks volumes about the kind of person he was, and the basketball world in general is gonna miss him. But you said he was doing a lot for women's basketball and girls basketball at a youth level, right? Yeah,
he is. I know Gigi. She was an insane player. I never got to see her play in person because that was going to be my first time. But the videos I saw, she was an insane player. But I mean, I know he was pushing girls basketball really heavy, and I like that because both of my sisters play. So I mean, I told my little sister, I said, you got to be the next one to bring this to the next level. I was like, she's about 6'2", and she's 13 years old. I'm like, you could be the next big thing. And she practices with us all day. So I was like, you got to be dominant. So I just told her to start taking over.
She's going to be a killer, your sister and stuff. I'm excited to see that because women's basketball definitely, have you noticed a swing? In this, eyeballs are starting to go towards women's basketball more.
Yeah.
And they're very deserving of it. They're more than deserving of it. What's your take on all that?
I love it. I love seeing. I seen a video of I think it was a girl in middle school dunking. I'm like, this is what I want to see. It's going because I see of people, I see negative comments on girls basketball. I always tell people, I'm like, you think like girls aren't good at basketball, but those people who are making those comments, that girl will probably beat them 1-on-1, 21-0. Like I could tell, like people just disrespect girls basketball so much, and girls could hoop. I say girls are better shooters than boys. So I mean, I tell everybody, my little sister's 13. I seen her beat one of the kids that was on my varsity team in high school 1-on-1. So I tell people that girls can really hoop and they can really shoot.
Rio, como agua de Rio. Yeah, get icy. Go click the link in the bio ASAP. Check out these videos and subscribe ASAP.